Hey,
And hello to all you watch people out there. Welcome to another edition of Taking the Time. I am Brian, and with me is Dr. Q, Brad, out there, the left coast of the United States, and here I am in the dark on the East Coast. And in true unprofessional fashion, I forgot to silence my phone before we went live. So, why not? Let's keep it perfect, everybody. That's
hey, that's why we own this, right?
yeah. I mean, we pay for this, so we're good. We're good. So we hope that anybody that wants to watch us is watching us, and as you can see, I wonder what this one's going to be about. In case you didn't notice from the little roll, the drum roll, and all that stuff. So just
I should have put a big X across the first look.
yeah. I mean, hey, so I don't think anybody pays attention to that anyway. So.
Right.
We're just going to go with it. And okay, let's
We got the web link for what we're doing. You guys know what we're doing. There it is.
Okay, so I guess let's start at what's going on in let's keep it watch related. I know everybody around the world is talking about us and our great nation in let's trying to figure things out here, but it'll get figured out. Until then, we're here because we love watches, and this is our weekly dose of sanity for us and hopefully anybody else that really likes this stuff. So, what do we have for the news there, Brad?
Oh man! All right, so we have a little bit of a delay in the Raider Power Reserve, but it might not be a good idea to release that before the end of the year. Anyway, it looks like I am finalizing prototypes for the Air Commander, which is our moon phase automatic. I think it's a beautiful watch. I'm very excited about that. So we're going to look at launching the Raider probably somewhere around the middle of the year, somewhere around the beginning of the year. And then we'll look at doing the moon phase probably around March, April, somewhere in that territory there. And got a few, very, very few Raiders left. So if you're waiting, I wouldn't want to wait too long. Your dial option might not exist when you go to order, but there's still a handful of pieces, both dial colors, and as long as you don't wait too long, you'll have your pick. We have in stock one Marine roll in olive and then one Army Air Corps in blue. So generally it takes a while to get those because they are handmade. Sometimes I have to source buttons, and that takes a little while to get the buttons and then send them over to get them put on the rolls themselves. But that's really all we got going on for Mitchell.
Yeah, Brad hasn't asked me to cut up any of my Army dress uniforms yet for buttons. Yeah. So we know he's not. It's not too tight, but he may get there. In which case, that'll be a tough call.
I did get a lot of Pan Am buttons, which are, if you ever look for like airline uniform buttons, Pan Am are harder to find and they're not cheap.
Yeah, but they're rare.
I did kind of luck into those. I have Pan Am, Delta. I think that's it for the airlines right now, but I also take special requests if there's one specific one you want. I can try to source that. I have a line for an Eastern Airlines that's a defunct airline. I've seen TWA and some of the older U.S. airs.
Yeah, somewhere I still have a collection of little plastic wings, and I still ask for them on flights, and I still get them. I try to bring little bits back for my aviation friends and things like that. I have some I need to send to you, mostly Delta because I live in Georgia and Atlanta's the hub for Delta. But yeah, I could send you some Delta wings and stuff like that. I know. some aviation people get a kick out of that stuff. Other people are like, oh yeah, it's usually for kids. So you're 39 years old. Why are you asking for this? Then COVID hit, and then so I wasn't able to get any wings on my last flight. But that's
speaking of, I've got 3 custom dials coming. One's going to be a recreation of a GCT, which is sold. The other one is a Pan Am blue dial. It's called Jet Age. It's got some vintage airline silhouettes. I've posted it on the Facebook for Mitchell Timepieces. Has a giant hole for the sub-seconds, and there's the second hand is actually a giant turbine blades. So it's a fantastic look. It's going to be super cool. It's going to go good with the packaging that I'm working on for that. It's going to be a 44 millimeter stainless steel case, kind of a big crown style, like the Warthog case. But
I've seen what you've been working on. I'm fortunate enough to get a little bit of the behind the scenes action, and it's really cool, and it's
too much fun.
It's really cool, and I think that's going to be a big one. I do have both the Raiders and both dial colors. They're fantastic. I'm saying, really.
You're not the only one that has both dial colors now. I think there's 3 or 4 people that have both dial colors.
Yeah, there's a kind of a minor contest within the Mitchell Timepieces owners that my credit card statement says stop playing this game, but my mind says, hey man, this is cool, and you only live once, so whatever. But yeah, that's good stuff, and it's positive things looking forward. So speaking of that, shall we, looking forward to things, shall we go to a wrist check today?
I think so.
I can start off. Well, I have a couple, actually. Just a couple, yeah, because I only have 2 wrists, but yeah, I'm not going to stack them all up on my arm because I don't want to scratch them. This is the Valhalla of Norway, Hugin and Munin in rose gold. It's a 40 millimeter case, and for everybody that's seen, my big giant wrist and says, "Why, Brian, would you ever get a 40?" Honestly,
it actually doesn't look bad.
It doesn't at all. I look like I have a massive, I can palm a basketball, but it doesn't look bad. So if you want to, definitely the Hugin and Munin, it has the kind of a Viking compass around the 6 o'clock date. Of course, this is the blue dial on this one, and this is in rose gold. It also comes in regular stainless, but it's rose gold colored stainless. Don't get me wrong, I can't afford that. Here we have one of my favorites. This is the Orm.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
And this is a 44. Yeah, really, really cool engravings around, and also the Hugin and Munin does too. Has engravings that I'm sure I won't be able to pick up on the camera because we don't have a budget, and I just am stuck with a webcam. But if you look kind of at the bezel, you can kind of see it.
Yeah, you can see it.
It kind of goes with like if you could see this bracelet that I have on. It's bronze bracelet. It's some different things. Actually, that one, and it's really cool. This is the Orm in 44. Definitely one of my favorites. And stainless steel also has it's kind of a dragon chasing itself around the bezel. You can see all these at valhallaofnorway.com. That's VAL or VALHALLA. Let me try to spell a little bit. And then if you want to go to their biggest model right here, we have at 45 millimeter. This is the Deep Fjord V2. And at 45, everybody's gonna say, well, yeah, okay. Now we see why you're always talking about, a bigger watch. Interesting. The V3 is coming out, and he should be having those in ideally by the end of this week. Very similar to this, but it's going to be in a black or I'm sorry, a blue or a white dial, some different loom options and things like that. So, I mean, if you kind of like the idea of this one, kind of take it, tweak it. It's not the same, but it is similar. So, and we're going to go back and I'm actually going to wear the 40, which,
How cute.
yeah, but, and,
It does.
I'm not a big gold guy either. And for some reason, it just, it looks good. I like it. Um, pretty standard with the runes. The loom is good on. Can't say enough. He's making great stuff, and he's got one out right now, and it's on Kickstarter. And I reviewed it, and down to getting down to the wire. I think there's some like 16 hours left. Oh, outstanding! That would be the Valhalla of Norway axe.
Yeah,
and that is, yeah.
So here's the deal. Like, we all know that you're a huge fan, and I saw the design, and he showed it to me. Probably not too far after he showed you, I think, from if I remember the conversations correctly, but he showed it to me afterwards, and I was just like, man, that is such a cool watch. It's a 42 millimeter. That's on a 7.25-inch wrist, and it doesn't it wears kind of small for a 42. And I qualify that by saying that for the last at least probably 2 months, all I've been doing is wearing a 44 millimeter watch. So if you keep that in mind, with the exception of the Raider here and there, I wore the Raider earlier today. I got my white Raider on the blue leather, but so and it wears very similar to this guy actually. So if you think about if you have a Raider and you get an idea of what that feels like, they feel very similar. As far as the case, the weight, it's very similar. It isn't a big feeling 42 at all.
No.
So, and I say that because it's like it can wear small, but it can wear big too. It depends on, like on your wrist, the 42 looked good. And it looks, I mean, the 42 is the perfect size watch for my wrist, in my opinion. But
yeah, I mean, and it looks good on you too. I found that the short lugs on that one, which are the axe inspired lugs that are kind of like this, they create it's a little bit tighter lug to lug distance. It's not massive. It didn't really wrap over my wrist. Like, so I'm saying, this is a 40 and it kind of sits on my wrist. Whereas Brad, you're showing that one, and you can see a little bit more of how the lugs are kind of pulled in that Viking axe shape, and that was intentional. So, of course, the Norwegian flag on the back, and yeah, the case. I mean, how do you like the case? I mean, have you ever seen anything like that? It's
no, I haven't, and that's why I loved it, and that's why, like, when I saw the renderings, I'm like, man, or not the renderings, but the images of it. I'm like, that's a really cool case. And it's basically, it's like you take a cushion case and you just chop it off and make it kind of squared. And it's such a unique design. And that is, I can understand why you love the brand now, because it's like nothing he's doing is like just like Rolex or just like Omega or whoever.
There's no just like anything. It's you definitely know. And now that seeing that, I mean, if you are ever out and you see someone wearing one, you're gonna know it's if you own a Valhalla of Norway, if you've seen them, normally have the runes and that kind of cool Viking vibe and all that. And it's just it is really cool. The attention to detail was huge in that one.
Yeah. I mean, we got the lugs that are designed after the axe, that kind of hook shape, for lack of better words. You've got the hammer logo on the crown, which you may or may not be able to see. There we go. And I mean, honestly, it's like it looks like he took an axe to chop the edges and give it that it's like a chiseled look. It's very very well done. The second hand's got the axe on the reciprocal side. The loom is fantastic. These dials, man, I've never like I don't think anybody's done a dial like this. I mean, it's carbon fiber.
Yeah, it's I don't know how it's done. If it's done in layers, the one I actually have on order is the red and black dial, and we're gonna see if we can't push this across the funding finish line. It's close. Little bit of chaos going on, globally with everything, and everybody knows about that. We're not here to talk about how miserable life is for humans.
So I mean, this was funded for the majority of the campaign, which is why that's frustrating.
It is, and it's I think it's about 91%, and we're getting down to the last probably 16 hours. So I mean,
I've got it pulled up. It's 17 hours. There's 120 backers. We need, I think, about 130 to get this across the finish line.
It's about 10 pieces. So, and it is. I mean, it's a fun watch. You've seen me, do my, busted up hand modeling. Oh, look. Oh, yeah. Now we're back to the 45. And, my hands are all burnt up and stuff from working on motorcycles and cars and doing guy stuff, and or men and women stuff. Anybody could be a mechanic. Anybody can build watches. I mean, you need to have an idea of what you're doing and go for it. Get the tools, go for it. And I mean, I really would like to see this one, bust across the finish line. I know that Roy's probably sleeping by now. I was talking to him on the phone before we got on the air tonight, and he said he was just going to go to bed. And I said, let's keep it alive. Let's see if, Brad and I, taking the time, can come up with a few. And we have had a few shows that people have actually gone on the website, ordered watches, even during the show, or if you watch it later, whenever. So, yeah, I mean, don't try not to write it off yet. You figure 10 pieces, it's really not that many. So, in the grand scheme of things, treat yourself. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I really don't. We're not here to just do promotional stuff. And I know I'm goofing around with the hat and the shirt and all that stuff, because, I'm a big fan of all the great stuff that they come out with. But really, I mean, we're not here for buyers, buy this, is going to be the greatest thing on earth. But I mean, I really think that it could be enjoyed by people with large or small wrists. It's not overly expensive.
42 is so versatile, and I mean that's why I picked it for the Raider, because you can, it works. I mean, it works for such a wide band of wrist sizes. I mean, we got your giant paw in there, and then we got guys with like 6 and 3/4 inch wrists that wear it too, and it looks fine on their wrist too. So,
and
it's the gold.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I have to say, if the Kickstarter does succeed for the axe, the one we're talking about now, it will also come with a mesh band. And I'm going to tell you that I have some really bad pictures because my house has terrible lighting, but I'll tell you when it's on like a brushed mesh strap, it makes it wear and look bigger than it is. It's just one of those things. It's kind of like the Raider, where you can change the strap. I had mine forever on that kind of NATO-y 2-piece, or not vinyl, but a nylon strap, and my custom kangaroo one came in. Thank you, Trin, if you're watching, you rock. And it's black with white stitching for the white dial, and I was like, man, I put that on there, and it's like, man, this watch looks like something James Bond should wear. It's just the perfect tuxedo for it, and it's really cool. And just been having fun with that kind of stuff. It's
I can't stop looking at the dial. I'm like, that's why you see my eyes go down.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really it's tricky to catch if you don't have the right lighting, but it is so cool. I mean, if you haven't seen,
this is worth every bit $300. I mean, please.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. And so like I said, we're just I'm it, and I mean, just the dial was awesome. And even though I backed for I want the red dial because my favorite color is red, but it's red and black. But they also have a sunburst blue dial.
Ooh, looks great. So I mean, it's like you can't go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, and you can find it at Valhalla of Norway, I think it's .com. I can put it in the comments if you guys.
Yeah, and we got the Kickstarter link right here. So. Yeah. I mean, we need. It looks like $4,500, give or take. So that's what we need to get this thing across the line. And a $300 watch, 3, 4, 6, maybe a dozen, give or take.
I think it was around 10 last I checked. I don't know. People have been in and out backing it, but it's I hate to go there, but it's 2020. What else is new? You're going to get curveballs and sorry. I had a visitor in here. I have a quadrupedal visitor tonight. He likes to hang out and he likes watches. So
yeah, I mean, like if you're looking for a unique dial, this is the money. If you're looking for a unique watch, this is the money. It's $300. That you're not going to find a watch with a dial like this anywhere else. But the other factor is all the details, like the bezels, like designed after the wooden shields that they used back in the day with, when the Vikings used shields in combat. The axe, again, the combat related cues there. Like this is the most well thought out watch we've looked at probably, I mean, I don't know. You
backed yourself into a corner here, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Oh, crap. Because I mean, when I think of the details, the attention to detail for watches, I think of this, the multiverse. That was an incredible, detailed watch.
Oh yeah,
completely different. All the details on the Sagamon relating to Route 66, but I mean, Route 66. It's a cool watch, definitely, but it's a lot easier to incorporate, a road and that type of theme into a watch. Whereas all these Viking details, I mean, holy cow, like it's just a creative mind to fill all those spaces with details. The axe marks on the case, it's like, and I saw in the comments for the Kickstarter, like, oh, that's scratches, and it's like, it's a design cut, like and you can tell that it doesn't look like a scratch on the case. It's like a cut in the metal that gives it that articulation detail. It's exquisite.
And it's one of those things. It's kind of I guess like a fine wine. It's going to get better with age. It's going to, if you wear it and you beat it up a little bit, it's just going to look better. And that's the idea. It's an asymmetrical case. On the crown side, it's angled down. You could see that it's on the 9 o'clock side, it's more round and kind of flows like a regular watch. And then it's kind of difficult to pick up. But yeah, on the crown side, it gets flatter and you get more angles and things like that. So yeah, exactly. So you can kind of see the difference there. It is a really cool piece. I would really love to see this get across the finish line. I know Roy, who's a friend of mine, he would love to see it get across the finish line too. I've literally been talking to him a lot lately because, hey, it's what friends do. So, and it's always fun to talk to people from all over the world. So I want to thank, everybody that, that watches or listens to it, here or on Facebook and, Veterans Watch Collector channel or listens to the podcast. It's everything. I've been, trying to think, we're getting to November now, and it would be interesting to hear, some feedback, maybe some of the big watches of 2020, what people's favorites were, different things, kind of a watch of the year thing. Like I said, we don't have any funding, so it's not like there's a prize, but yeah, I mean, I could send you something and yeah, I don't know what do you want, but yeah, it's like a broken link remover or something, something like a broken watch tool or something. Like, yeah, send this idiot online, do it. Yeah, but and that's it. It's for it's for just the love of watches, timepieces, everything. So, and we get comments, especially on here. We can see them, if you comment on, the Taking the Time Facebook page after the broadcast. I know not a lot of people do comment, but, feel free to, if you have suggestions or other things. I actually had another person hit me up on Facebook the other day and said, hey, I was talking to this guy about this watch. So he offered it to me to review it, but I'm not a reviewer. Would you guys be interested? And I said, sure. So he passed along the information and we're going to be reviewing that one. And so, I mean, it's a live community. It's a growing community. It's a great community. We're all in it together. So,
I mean,
go ahead.
I don't remember when we started this page, but it hasn't been that long. And we're well over 700 likes. Now I know most watch reviewers, they go after like the YouTube aspect of it, thinking that you're gonna get you got to get at least 1,000 subscribers so that you can monetize. And I mean, that'd be cool and all. We could get like 60 cents a month or $3 or something. Whatever views.
It would
like,
it costs us more to just make this show for anybody who's willing to watch two idiots talk about some really cool watches, or sometimes maybe you think it's an uncool watch. That's cool too. But we're not in it for the money. We're not in it for, that. Yeah. Does it limit some brands won't?
Reviews. Yeah, and that's where we'd like to get you to like and follow Taking Time on Facebook. And if you want to subscribe,
and
veteran. I was talking about Facebook.
Oh,
Did I say YouTube?
No, you were correct.
And I mean, that's where we love to get as many likes and people following us on Facebook or the YouTube, because that's where we get more opportunities to get great timepieces like this right here to review, to show you guys, to talk about. So I mean, that's why there's a little bit of a push there.
Yeah, it's just there's no, trust me, there's no monetary gain for either of us to do this. It's solely just, I mean, it's for fun, and we want you guys and everybody out there to have fun watching it, listening to it, whatever. And I'm not going to keep going on about just, hey, tell your friends, whatever. But hey, maybe if you have some friends that are into watches or whatever, invite them to like the channel.
Yeah.
Because what it does is it opens more doors for us with other brands that, so we can bring you other cool watches, or we could bring you other watches, at least, cool or not. They're all cool. Hey, so, and so yeah, I mean, it's just something to kind of think about. But really, this one is a big push for Valhalla of Norway and the Kickstarter. Yeah,
we need to figure out how to get this across the line, because this is too nice of a watch to not get funded. And I know it's a wackier, and the timing, especially for Americans right now, with the election results and stuff, is not the greatest. But this is a super cool watch. The dial is, it's like, I'll be honest, and we got to wrap this up pretty soon because we're already at 30 minutes. But I'm like, what is his fascination with this brand? And I'm like, they're cool watches. They, quality materials. The specs are there. And I mean, Micro Brands is the most competitive for specs, anyways. So you have to have the specs. And then when I got this watch and I unboxed it, I was just like, that dial is sick. Like, just and you can see, like, if you look real close, you can see the fibers in there too. And I was just like, man, that is so cool. But I get it. Like, this is a very, very cool watch, and it has the specs to back up that look. I mean, it's like, you're gonna get as much wear out of this as you want. And people are going to see that dial, and they're going to be like, what is that? If they're, you're a watch person, not even if you're a watch person, you're gonna notice that.
Yeah, I mean, they have a metallic blue sunburst dial, which is amazing. You let light hit that, and it's going everywhere. There's a red and black carbon fiber that is super cool looking. That's the one I really like. The black and white carbon fiber that you have now. I was actually the first one to review that. In person. I think, well, we did it live here. So I mean, it's a great watch. I would really like to see it get funded. Like I said, we don't have any stock in this. There's nothing monetarily for, but so it's just honest reviewing. And that's one of the things about us. We don't charge people for reviews. There's none of that. So, love it or hate it, it is what it is. And so,
I really like it. So
it is cool. And, I have to say, I'm in, my, the fan gear stuff here, because I've, bought a number of watches.
And you guys can tell, when we're geeking out over watch, and you can probably, maybe you're getting a little bit of a vibe of kind of a little bit subdued, or, it's because I'm kind of bummed that this isn't just fully funded already and done,
Yeah.
And it's like, this is wrong. It's just wrong. It's a gorgeous piece. And it's like, get out there and back it. Follow the link on the screen. That's the Kickstarter. I wish we could make it a clickable link. What we'll do is we'll put that in the chat so that it's a little bit easier to hit and go fund this. If you can't fund it,
it's an established company. I mean, really, I didn't just borrow these. So these are the ones that I own. So they make really, quality thing. They also have the V3 coming out, that's their bigger diver. I think it's going to be in the $500 range. So when you're talking about,
let's focus on this though.
You can really get a screaming deal right now. And I'll go back to the 40 just because everybody's, I'm always complaining about sizes, but it doesn't wear tiny, so I mean, really, if you get a chance to check out the Kickstarter, check out their website. There's so many different designs that they've done. They've been in business since 2013. 2020 has been a hard year for everyone, including Micro Brands. A number of them just, Kickstarter, it's, hasn't worked out for them, or, whatever the case may be, but it just didn't go. But yeah, if you guys like it, check it out. If you look at some of the really good pictures and not just us waving stuff in front of webcams on the website, I think you're going to think it's really cool. I'd love to see it funded, because that would mean that I would get that watch that I backed with my own money. But so, and yeah, let's try.
I posted some really good macros on our Taking the Time Facebook page, so you'll see those there. And then I think I did the thumbnail for that, but you can definitely see the thumbnails. I also post them all over the groups too, so they're there. If you can't buy the watch, man, at least get over there and give them $20, $25 or something to kind of get this pushed forward a little bit. The other weird thing I noticed about this campaign is the numbers have fluctuated because of exchange rates. So that's like another kind of challenge with the way Kickstarter does, is the exchange rates fluctuated the numbers a bit too. So
lock it in while
it's cheap.
Yeah,
it's cheap anyways. It's $300 for an incredible watch with a super cool dial. Dial is fantastic. Secondhand is really cool. There's nothing about this watch I don't like. Pardon me. Sorry about that.
Oh, good.
All right. Well, I think it's about time to wrap it up. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean, how much more can we say? Hey, this is cool. Really, yeah, check it out on the website. And the thing, if you're newer to watches, it's an automatic watch. It doesn't take batteries or anything like that. You wind it up or shake it up and go. Has a screw down crown and all that. It's plenty of water resistance, 200 meters or something.
Seiko 35 movement's not gonna give you any problems at all.
No. And
is it BGW9 or it is, right? Because it's blue.
Yeah.
It's
BGW9. So it's a blue lume.
Yeah.
On that one, that's the part that lights up in the dark. For anybody, I know we have a lot of non-watch people that do watch us too, which is fun. A lot of them, my friends of mine from growing up and things like that. So we have a lot of fun with it. I'm not gonna. I wouldn't say that it was awesome if I didn't believe it was, and I've had it. I've worn it. It's great, man. Check it out. Let's and hopefully we can get it funded. That would be really cool, because I think it would be a shame to not see it funded. And so
it really would. There's been too many of those cases this year. Let's not make this another one. Let's get this pushed over the edge. You've got the Kickstarter in the link. You've got it on the screen. You can always pause and type it in, copy it.
And that's
it's going to be posted in all the groups that I'm in with the link there. So get over there, back it, love it. It's awesome. It's a great watch. Make sure you're following us on Taking the Time Watch Talk on Facebook. Sometimes it comes up as Taking the Time.
It's just to add, if you just type in Taking the Time, that's it.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you got to put Watch Talk in there.
That does for me, but I only use a cell phone, so I don't know.
Yeah. And then YouTube, we're a Veterans Watch Collector channel. Easy to find both. If you want to watch this again, make sure you like and subscribe. We've got podcasts for audio only that we put in the links to. So however you want to do it.
Yeah. And anybody that's just listening to it on a podcast, it's Valhalla, VALHALLA of OF, Norway, NORWAY.com. The Kickstarter is http://kck.st/2 capital S small w small I number 8 capital D lowercase h. So I hope you got that. If not, rewind it. So
And you've got 17 hours as of 5:45 Mountain Standard.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it for us. We'll see you guys next week, maybe.
Yeah. Say, sounds great. And yeah, everybody out there, hey, thank you for taking the time with us. And keep your heads up. Let's rock and roll, and we're not going to stop either. So until then, bye-bye.
Later.